What is your relationship with productivity? What are your belief systems around your own productivity? Is your self-worth attached to how productive you are? Well, today's video is going to talk about the conditionings that we all have living in this world, especially in North America, where being productive and accomplishing things is rewarded in our society, and therefore many people attach their self-worth to productivity. This is a dangerous place to be, because if you don't follow through with what you intend to do, or you fail at something, or you get sick and you can't complete something. I mean, there's so many things that happen in life where we can move in a direction that is different than what we expected. And where does that leave you when things don't work out the way you wanted? Do you blame yourself? Do you go into shame and guilt? How much is your self-worth attached to how productive you are? So I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself in this video that will help you to understand your relationship with your accomplishments, or what your level of productivity is and how it's attached to your self-worth. I used to be somebody who was in the hustle. I hustled my butt off, and I believed that I had to hustle to get ahead. And I started to base my self-worth on how hard I worked and what I accomplished. This only led me to burnout and to health issues, and I had to take a serious look at myself and the way that I was living and where this came from. I had been conditioned through my parents, and conditioned through society, conditioned through my experiences, that if you don't work really hard to the point that you're suffering within it, you're not going to get ahead. So I've gone from a place of strong hustle mentality to a place where I actually value my time on such a deep level that I usually only take no more than 4 clients a day, because I value my time and my peace so much. And it's not about going through client after client after client, making money. It's about valuing my time and also valuing my clients' time, so I can give my full self to my clients and be there and be present with my clients, not looking at my clients as numbers that I need to get through. You know, you can go into the doctor's office and you have 10 minutes with them, and that's all you get, and they're on to the next patient. It's just like this hamster wheel of people going through, and how much care can you really get in that kind of time? I mean, that's one thing that's completely wrong with our medical system. But that's a whole other story. I'm just giving you that as an example. That's the way our world works. It's become so big in our world that people are putting more and more on their plates, because people have pushed themselves more and more, and it's becoming the norm. It is the norm. So how you can start to look at your own self-worth and how it's attached to your productivity. So question number 1 that you want to ask yourself: is your worth attached to your productivity? Just get curious and look and see. Is your worth attached to your accomplishments? Do you base your worth on how much you get done in a day? And if you don't finish things in the day, or you don't complete things, where does that leave you? Do you beat yourself up? And that leads us into question 2. Do you go into guilt and shame if you are not productive? So let's say you're sick one day and you can't go to work. How does that leave you? Are you rolling through all the things that you aren't getting done? Do you feel guilt and shame? Are you angry that you can't be at work? Are you bothered that you can't be at work because you're so worried that you're not going to get things done? Are you actually resting at home and taking time to be? Or are you somewhere else? Or say you take a mental health day and you don't go to work that day. Do you actually take a mental health day? Do you actually enjoy the day? Do you give yourself time to just be? Or are you feeling guilty that you took a mental health day? Or if you need to get something done and then you just decide not to do it because you need a break, do you feel guilty about that? Is there guilt and shame there? Well, if there is, you can see that your self-worth is actually attached to what you do. And then number 3, the question you want to ask yourself, and this is going to take me a moment to explain this because I actually experienced it the other day. I had nothing to do. Everything was completed, no work to do. And I was sitting down and was going to watch a movie, I was going to read, do things, and I kept having this alarm come up. You need to be doing something. You need to be productive. And I haven't had this in a while. I'm really good at resting and taking time for myself because I've cultivated that over the years and been very aware of my own attachment to productivity and my worth and really trying to bring awareness to this piece. But this was like an old part coming back up, and it was like this alarm, like almost like this urgency, like you need to be doing something, like why aren't you doing something? And I have to remind myself, no, there's nothing to do. You don't need to do anything. And that's actually why I decided to do this video today, was because I realized this is a conditioning. But it was so interesting that this has come back in after I've done so much work on this, and it was showing up, and it was actually driving me and tricking me to believe that I need to be doing something and that I wasn't being productive, that something was wrong. So check within this and get curious in the next while to watch yourself when you really have nothing to do and you're giving yourself permission to just chill out. Is there anything that's coming up telling you that you should be doing something, that you need to be productive? That right there alone in itself shows how much we have been conditioned to believe that we need to be productive. Doing nothing is a waste of time, but that is not true. It is so good to do nothing. Doing nothing is so productive because you're resting and you're taking care of yourself. You're just enjoying yourself doing nothing. Those are the 3 questions you can get curious about to understand your own conditioning around productivity and how it is attached to your worth. And then what you want to do with this, once you've started to understand this within yourself, is to challenge that. Whenever these things come up around productivity and you see that it's attached to your worth, or that you believe, oh, I'm not doing enough, right? If the critical mind comes in, oh, you're not doing enough, or you feel guilty, or you feel shame, you need to challenge that. Is that true? No, it's not true. Your productivity is not attached to your worth. I don't care how much you have been taught that, it is not attached. And how can you build a better relationship with this part of productivity? How can you have healthy productivity so you're taking care of yourself? You still get the things you need to do done, because that kind of pressure is what leads to burnout. And we can't always keep up with everything in life. And if something doesn't go the way that we expected, like I said before, well, what does that do to our self-worth when things don't work out the way we want it? So I hope I've given you some things to look at within yourself that you can ponder and get curious about and learn more about. It's a process with this. So we might not see everything right at once, but we can get curious over the next few weeks and just look and see, how can we do things in a new way? If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. My name is Tess. Thanks for watching.